Welcome back. In this session we're going to see how to install RA Workbench. RA stands for Recursive Automaton. So as a reminder, there are four variants of the Nudge software. Nudge for Windows, which is a complete package. Nudge for Java, which is a simplified version. ATI SHS, which is a specific version used by researchers in the social sciences and in the humanities to perform some various statistical measurements on their corpora, and RA, which is a set of command line programs that can run natively on Linux, macOS or Windows. It's used in the web application WebNudge. It can be used to build a web API. It has been written in Swift, and it uses a Vapor technology, which is a server technology. As usual, the first step to install Nudge is to go to the website, so nudge.univ-fcon.fr. Then looking for the downloads item here in red. You go to the downloads page, and then at the bottom of the page you're going to see RA, a new linguistic engine for Nudge. You can download by clicking here, and you're going to get the ra-workbench.zip file. So here is a screenshot of the Linux machine. So I have dragged the ra-workbench.zip on the desktop. I double-clicked it in order to get a folder. In the folder, I double-clicked the folder in order to get its content. In the folder, you can see that there are command lines that are stored in the underscore Windows, so they are native to Windows, underscore macOS, so these are command lines that are native to macOS, and underscore Linux, they run natively on Linux. All the other files here are documentation, as well as a few samples of text and grammars and lists and other things that are used in the README to illustrate each command line. So if you go to a terminal to use these command line programs, so you can run the terminal, you go to the software, to the folder in which you installed the workbench. So in my case it was on the desktop, so I type in cd /desktop /ra-workbench . And then I can enter the command ls to display the content of the folder. So again, these are the documentation files. Linux, macOS and Windows are the subfolders in which the command lines are stored, and all these are sample texts, sample dictionaries, sample grammars. So in order to test RA, you can type in a few commands. So for example, cat test3.txt to display the sample text, text.txt. You can use the command segment to segment the text into sentences. So segment test.txt with a segmenter, which is a recursive automaton that recognizes ends of sentences. And by applying this segmenter to the test, you're going to create a test.3.not file, which is a text which has a task, a text annotation structure. You can use lexical analysis, the lexical analysis command, to apply a dictionary or several dictionaries, and a description of the properties, lexical properties, to the text, which is saved as test.not. And then this lexical analysis will add annotations to the text annotation structure. You can print out, you can display the task, test3.not, and you can create a little grammar. For example, main equals n, uppercase N between angle brackets. This grammar will recognize all the nouns in the text. You can compile this grammar, nouns.nog, which will create the nouns.ra, recursive automaton corresponding file, and you can apply this recursive automaton to the text, test3.not in order to get the index of all the matching sequences. And from there you can build a concordance that will display the concordance according to the text and its index, and the left and the right windows. If all these commands work, it means that you have successfully installed RA on your computer. You might encounter some problems. Well, the first one is obviously the system doesn't find the commands, so I suggest that you add the folder in which you have all these command line, all these commands on the path, so that the system knows how to find them. So for macOS, for example, you would type in a command such as path equals, and then you add to $path the directory, the folder in which all the macOS commands are stored. For Linux, you would have the _Linux folder. Another problem could be that during the unzip process, some operating systems reset files, read and execute permissions, so you have to go to the corresponding directory. So for example, macOS, where you have all the commands, and then you have to change their permissions. So for example, for the user, the owner of this file, you can add read and execute permission. If you encounter other problems, don't hesitate to contact me at max.zilberstein@gmail.com. If you have no problem, congratulations, you have installed RA Workbench. Now it's time to read the documentation, which is stored in readme.pdf. Don't hesitate to contact me if you need some more explanation.